you gotta do is read a book. Open up the cover and take a look.
Hi, I'm Melissa Taylor. I am a mother of two girls. One is a kindergartner at Mayflower and one is only 4 years old. And I'm here today to read to you Sophia Valdez, Future Prez by Andrea Beatty, and it's illustrated by David Roberts. And this is Sophia. I'm gonna flip the pages. Again, Sophia Valdez, Future Prez. Sophia was a baby who got things done, helping her family before she turned 1. See, she's helping her abuelo right here. She and abuelo went out every week to help elderly friends around Blue River Creek, who couldn't get out and about on their own, and with no place to gather, were stuck home alone. We know what that's like, right? They're here, and she went out and got them groceries. Raking the leaves, taking pets for a walk, or just dropping by for a treat and a talk. Sophia Valdez did as much as she could for her family and friends and her whole neighborhood. A dreamer, a doer, a real-life go-getter. Most people like good, but Sophia liked better. Each morning, abuelo walked Sophia to class. They walked home again along Blue River Pass, making plans, munching cookies, abuelo and girl, except for that Tuesday when Pup saw the squirrel. With a howl, Pup took off, racing all through the town, over, under, beneath, and around. Sophia screamed to try to keep up with the hollering man and the bellowing Pup. Uh-oh, what's gonna happen? They're running and running. That Pup is going crazy for the squirrel. Up the squirrel ran to the top of a hill made of leftover junk for the local landfill. They reached the tip-top of that mountain of trash, which jiggled and broke with an ear-splitting crash. Oh no, that doesn't sound good. Down they all tumbled and hit with a thud on a moldy old pumpkin surrounded by mud. Ouch, cried abuelo. He struggled to stand. A dangerous mess, he said, grasping her hand. Oh no, what do you think happened? It was a big hill, he found out. The next day, Sophia walked to school solo, but it wasn't the same without her abuelo. This is not right, declared young Sophia, who glared at Mount Trashmore and got an idea. Look at all of that trash. The very next morning at dawn, she planted a sign at the front of the lawn. She stood back and smiled, and Pup gave a bark. Get rid of Mount Trashmore. Let's build a new park. Each of her neighbors had something to say about benches and fountains and places to play, meeting spots, gardens, a basket for bees, a rubber duck pond, and a kiosk for cheese. She drew every thought on her map of the park, which was perfectly perfect by 1:45. What would you put in your park? I like the idea of cheese. She drifted to sleep in her soft, cozy bed. Then bam! She woke up when a thought smacked her head. Her heart skipped a beat as she realized each one of her neighbors had said, "Let me know when it's done." They all thought Sophia could build it alone. But how could one girl do so much on her own? The weight of that thought made her tender heart ache as night thunder growled and she lay wide awake. Then dawn brought a storm, and the gloomy sky wept, and the heartsick Sophia finally slept. That is a lot of pressure to put on a little girl to build a park. She looks very nervous, doesn't she? Abuelo baked cookies when Sophie got up. He gave her a bagful and sneaked one to Pup. He blinked back a tear as he hugged his Sophia. For courage, he whispered, Ti amo, mi vida. Sophia's knees wobbled. She felt weak inside. She looked at his ankle and quite nearly cried. Though she didn't feel brave or courageous at all, Sophia Valdez went to face City Hall. There's a library and a City Hall. Monrovia has a library and City Hall too. Look how little she looks in front of that big building. Would you be scared? I don't know. Okay, let's see what happens. The mayor's office sent her to room 401, the Blue River Creek Department of Fun, which sent her downstairs to room 302, the Office of Duck Ponds and Cool Things to Do. To the Office of Monkeys, the Department of Cheeses, the Division of Fountains and Meetings and Bees, then down to the basement, so musty and cramped, where all the town's papers were sorted and stamped, and that's where the clerk said that no one else did. You can't build a new park. You're only a kid. That doesn't seem very nice. Well, the word smacked Sophia deep down in her heart. Her plan was kiboshed before it could start. I think, said Sophia, I think that law's wrong. But her second grade voice didn't sound very strong. The clerk said, clearly it cannot be done. Do you have any questions? Sophia said, one. If you were me, and I was you, and he was your grandpa, what would you do? Well, said the clerk. Then she said nothing at all. She thought, and then she sent out a call to every employee throughout City Hall. The entire government of Blue River Creek crammed into the office to hear Sophie speak, but her words jumbled up and her cheeks turned bright red as a dozen emotions rushed into her head. Her heart beat so loudly she thought it would crack. The crowd leaned in closer. Sophia leaned back. Then her arm brushed the edge of the old cookie sack. And that was the moment when Sophia first knew being brave means doing the thing you must do, though your heart cracks with fear, though you're just in grade 2. She looks very nervous. All these people are staring at her. What is she going to say? Look at all of that. She brought her paper with her drawings. She took a deep breath, looked the mayor in the eye, and though her knees wobbled, she held her head high. Sophia started talking. She spelled out her plan and why it all mattered and how it began. And once she got rolling, well, she had lots to say, and about meeting spots, monkeys, and places to play, and other ideas for things they could do to help the town elders and other folks too. She had thoughts on the library, thoughts on the zoo, and perhaps a way to combine the two. She had her rubber duck ideas for a rubber duck pond, a basket for bees, because I love bees. I love cheese, maybe a fountain of cheese, a library for monkeys, a kiosk for cheese, more cheese, I'm telling you, a zoo library, and a Loan a Llama program. And monkeys love books. Loan a Llama program. We should look into that. All right, cried the mayor, go start a petition. If the town wants a new park, we'll form a commission. Let's build a park for everyone. And so young Sophia got right to work with some help from her family and Pup and the clerk. It's her abuela. He's back. He's got a cane now because he got hurt. Sign our petition, please. Bark for parks. Then others joined in, not all, but a few, like Miss Lila Greer and the kids in grade 2. Her classmates came out, and they all have signs. Scientists need parks to do experiments. Give bees a chance. Sign our petition, please. A park to think in. Architects for parks. We love parks. We can do it. Get rid of Mount Trashmore. Somewhere that's green. We need more green. Si se puedo. Sign our petition, please. Look at all those kids going out saying, we want a park. There were hearings and surveys and taxes to figure, then bulldozers, cranes, and a blue bigger digger. They all built that park, that's how it got done, with the hard work of, by, and for everyone. But it began with the dream of one person, just one, who laced up her shoes and then led the way to help Blue River Creek get a new place to play. Now every evening till long after dark, the town comes together at Citizens Park. They all hold this truth to be self-evident, that Sophia Valdez could grow up to be president. Until then, Sophia, that real-life go-getter, helps Blue River Creek get better and better. Look, everyone came out, even the ducks, to help build this park. And that's their blue bigger digger to get the trash out of there so they can have a citizens park. And that, my friends, is the end, but I think this quote here is very important to read. The author dedicated this book to you. You are braver than you know and mightier than you can ever imagine. Be bold. So thank you for letting me share this book with you. I love this book because I think it gives children, just like you and your friends around you, the hope that if you see something wrong, you can use your voice and fix it. You can talk to your parents or to the city council or to the library or your principal or anyone. Don't ever be afraid to stand up and use your voice.
All you gotta do is read a book, open up the cover and take a look. All you gotta do is read a book, open up the cover and take a look.